Live with coverage you can count on. This is News 2 Today.
It was a busy weekend for the Trump administration as they capture an intruder, promote a new health care law, and fire a U.S. prosecutor. Plus, the results are in, and the Palmetto State ranks high as the worst number in DUI cases. We break it down for you. Rise and shine, everyone. It is Sunday, March 12th. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Annie Taylor.
And I'm Christine Kohler.
It is 9 a.m. We just want to mention that before we get into breaking news this morning.
Double check the clocks. It's not 8, it's 9.
Exactly. Make sure you set those clocks forward. All right, but we are following breaking news this morning. The Palmetto store off Highway 17 in McClellanville caught fire overnight. Wanda and Georgetown fire departments, along with Charleston County and Mount Pleasant fire responders, they were all called out to the structure fire around 11 o'clock last night.
Fire crews from Onda say when they arrived, the fire looked to have started at the back of the building. These dramatic photos you're looking at were taken by the Onda and McClellanville Fire District. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, but the fire is still under investigation.
Also new this morning, the South Carolina Forestry Commission has lifted the statewide red flag fire alert that was in effect since Friday.
They say the alert was lifted because of improving weather conditions, including the rain that's moving in. If you plan to burn outdoors, you do need to notify the Forestry Commission in advance.
And the rain did move in overnight. Yes. Are some areas still seeing rain this morning?
Oh yeah, we've still got, it's a little more scattered in nature than it was for some folks earlier this morning. Georgetown and Williamsburg County got a decent amount of rain through the overnight hours. But the thing I've been watching this morning is the rain snow line just up to our north and parts of the Midlands has been steadily dropping south.
And if you go on Twitter, you'll see a lot of photos of snow, especially in the Charlotte area and the lower parts of North Carolina.
Absolutely. And you know, I can't completely rule out seeing maybe a little bit of sleet mixing in through parts of Dorchester and Berkeley County. Mainly the northern areas is where we're talking about this morning. It's not going to be anything impactful, nothing you need to cancel any outdoor plans over. I certainly don't think any of it would stick, but I wouldn't be surprised if a few of you did see a couple of sleet flakes or sleet pellets mixing in. As you take a look at the satellite radar picture here behind me, you can see the rain's now a second batch of heavier rain moving into Williamsburg County right now. So taking a closer look, you can see we've got the rain stretching from Kingstree out towards Pleasant Hill, where we've got some pockets of heavy rain. Andrews also seeing the rain as well. A little bit drier into Georgetown County, although still scattered in nature. As you look a little bit further down to the south, on Jamestown, you're getting a little bit of a break in the action as things start to taper off, but St. Stephen's seeing a little bit of rain. We saw some in Moncks Corner a little bit earlier as well, but it's a little drier for you right now. And then through parts of Colleton County and Dorchester County, you've had a couple of raindrops falling, but you are starting to dry out a little bit. I do expect that rain become more widespread as we head through the day. These temperatures continuing to drop this morning despite the fact that the sun's been up for about an hour and a half now. It's 39 currently in Kingstree, 45 out at the airport in North Charleston, 53 currently on Edisto Beach. So those temperatures continue to slide as we head through the rest of the day today with those rain chances. We'll talk more about your hour by hour forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Annie?
All right, thanks, Chrissy. Topping headlines this morning, President Trump in Washington this weekend, safe after an intruder jumped the fence at the White House Friday night. And then on Saturday, the president fired a U.S. attorney who refused to call to resign. And while the vice president hit the road to sell the Republican plan to replace Obamacare. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest.
The president commenting Saturday after a California man jumped the fence at the White House just hours before.
Secret Service did a fantastic job. It was a troubled person.
The Secret Service stopped the intruder Friday night on the South grounds. For Trump, it was business as usual Saturday, hosting lunch at his Virginia Golf Club for members of his cabinet and staff.
The economy is doing very, very well. And generally speaking, we're doing very well. We're getting it back on track. We really had a mess. We had a mess. Believe me, it's getting straightened out. It's getting straightened out fast. And today we're also talking about health care.
Vice President Mike Pence was also talking health care in Kentucky on the road to sell Republicans' new plan to replace the Affordable Care Act.
Affordable Care Act, whatever it is that it goes by, has been truly devastating.
Show me what democracy looks like!
As Pence spoke, Obamacare supporters protested nearby.
I want to wait until there's a better program for the repeal to happen.
Late Saturday afternoon, Trump won his showdown with a federal prosecutor. The president originally asked Preet Bharara to stay on as U.S. Attorney for Manhattan. Bharara was an Obama appointee. Friday, the Justice Department told him and 45 other U.S. attorneys to resign and leave office. Bharara refused. He tweeted Saturday that he had been fired. It's customary for presidents to pick their own U.S. attorneys, but law enforcement sources tell NBC News the abruptness of Trump's decision, without new appointees ready to go, and after asking Bharara to stay on, caught many by surprise. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
The woman at the center of a missing person case has been found safe this morning. Donna Shelley was found in McDowell, North Carolina. She left her home in Horry County Saturday morning and never arrived where she was supposed to be going. We did receive confirmation, though, this morning that Donna Shelley has been located and is safe, and the endangered person advisory has been canceled. Charleston police have also found a missing woman they described as being endangered. Tiffany Wallace was last seen in the Motel 6 parking lot off Savannah Highway 6 days ago, but has now been found. A new study ranks South Carolina the 5th worst state in the country for driving under the influence. Backgroundchecks.org published the study using information from the CDC and the Department of Transportation. News 2's Sophia Arizosa breaks down the numbers.
It's a story about a decision.
Very preventable.
A story told too often.
Crashes can occur, people can be injured, people can be killed.
A drunk driver killing someone. Undeserving, unprepared, and unsuspecting.
DUI can change and impact people's lives in a quick second.
This time it happened in Columbia when a man pulled his car onto the side of I-20 to change a flat tire. His family inside.
Just like that.
A drunk driver slammed into the car.
Striking, the vehicle and him.
Killing 2 people. The only survivor, their 1-year-old baby boy.
To now have to face the fact that his parents are no longer around.
If the thought of taking someone else's life isn't sobering enough, Lance Corporal Matt Southern asks you think about how it can affect yours.
There are so many consequences that come with driving under the influence if you're charged with it. Of course, a night in jail being one of the first. Having your vehicle towed, having to hire an attorney, special insurance.
According to the study, there were more than 16,000 DUI arrests in South Carolina last year, and 301 deaths as a result of someone driving under the influence.
The decision that a person makes to get behind the wheel can be prevented.
That is what makes the numbers frustrating for Southern, because those 301 deaths are the result of 301 decisions.
The study also shows that there has been a 9.1% decrease in DUI fatalities since last year. One person is dead following a car accident in Berkeley County. It happened along Route 17A near Garcia Lane when a car hit a pedestrian. The cause of the crash and the identity of the victim is still unknown at this point, but Highway Patrol is investigating this crash and will continue to follow this for you. The man killed in a fatal shooting Friday night on South Surrey Drive has been identified as 41-year-old Terrence Jones. Jones died on scene. It's unknown at this time what led to the shooting, but North Charleston police are investigating. We now know the identity of a man who died of a gunshot wound on Thursday night. 25-year-old Thelmont Royal died shortly after arriving at MUSC to be treated. North Charleston police continue their investigation into this incident, which they say took place on Bonds Avenue in North Charleston. A body found Saturday afternoon in the Black River has Georgetown County Sheriff's Office investigating. Deputies responded to the area of Colonel Cole Drive around 12:15 when someone spotted a body in the river and called 911. No word yet on the identity of this victim. South Carolina lawmakers are considering a bill that would label pornography a public health hazard. The bill says the graphic material leads to a, quote, broad spectrum of individual and societal harms, including low self-esteem, violence toward a woman, a lessening desire in young men to marry. The bill sponsors are calling pornography an epidemic, and they hope to combat it with education, research, and new regulations. A fundraiser was held Saturday for an airman left paralyzed after an act of kindness. Jamia Porcher is a 20-year-old airman first class, Georgetown native, high school basketball star, and Clemson student who was left paralyzed after she was hit by a car while attempting to help another driver involved in an accident. The community rallied together to raise money for Jamia with an all-star classic basketball tournament last night. Proceeds to help Jamia better outfit her home for a wheelchair. There's also a GoFundMe page set up for her. If you would like to donate, we have a link on our website, counton2.com. Not many people can say that they have been happily married for 71 years, but for one Columbia couple, Friday was that day. Lucille and Evelyn Wood, they were born and raised in South Carolina, and they're both in their 90s. Now, they shared marriage advice that has carried them over the past 71 years.
You'll have some bumps, you're going to have some ups, and you're going to have some downs. So don't run away because you have bumps. Stay there.
Lucille and Elvin married when they were 19 years old back in 1946. The two met in New York while he was serving in the Army and she was there for work. All right, guess what, everyone? According to Walmart, it's everyone's birthday today. The Superstore had made March 12th everyone's birthday and will be giving away 3 million free cupcakes nationwide from noon until 4 today. Customers can choose from vanilla or a chocolate cupcake with either white buttercream or whipped ice cream.
News 2 Today is just getting started.
Stopping bullies. In our next half hour, how kids in one Bay Area school are spreading a message of kindness. If you missed any games on the fields or on the courts, no need to worry. Brandon Baylor's next with all your sports highlights.